You are watching the Pan-African Daily TV with Dr. Susan Tatah. The Africa we want: unity, consciousness, our culture, our spirituality, our history. One Africa for Africans worldwide. Motherland's calling its diaspora home. Join my voice. Join my team. Join my campaign. Campaign 21 hashtag 1 million subscribers on the Pan-African Daily TV YouTube. Be a volunteer. Apply now. Be the new Africa.
After centuries of misguidance caused by slavery, colonization, lack of awareness of our history, and institutional disinformation, a new Africa is on the move, determined and getting organized. Afrika tuko pamoja. Welcome to the United Kingdoms of Great Africa. The United Kingdoms of Great Africa is the credo of the alliance movement of all African intelligences around a common ideal: the unity and development of a strong, conquering, and completely dedogmatized Africa through the channel of a strong organization called the Africa We Want Global. You are an African, Afro-descendant, researcher, historian, scientist, or simply an NGO. You want to be part of this great historical march towards the total freedom of an uninhibited Africa? Visit our website www.africawewantglobal.org. Register and discover the range of our platforms for change. AfricaWeWantGlobal.org. Join the kingdom, be part of it. An initiative of Dr. Susan Tatah.
So greetings everyone. Greetings to all of you watching from the continent, in the diaspora, in Europe, in Ukraine, in Russia, all over the world. Today is a very special edition. I'm bringing you some very interesting feedbacks and updates and information. Very, very important for us Africans to be aware of what is going on right now. So as you can see, I posted, or we've been posting, that we are currently live now because the situation in Europe, in Russia-Ukraine war is not as easy as we think. And one of the problems that I know and the challenges is that we are not informed, we don't get updates, we don't feel the situation because we never had a structure that could actually put us in the right position. But now we're very happy to announce to you that our information, our global contact and information office is ready and live. We just posted. You know, what is happening that we realize from this Ukraine crisis or war, Ukraine war, as we're saying, is that it has opened our eyes to see how some very relevant things could happen around us without us being aware. So I'm going to give you a feedback of the information that we put out this weekend, trying to study the reason why our people are being blocked in the Ukraine. And we realized with our research team that the basic thing that they needed was information that was not available to them. Number one. Number two, the contact was not available to them. And so even as everybody was running for their lives, other citizens were running for their lives, Africans were the last in that rail to even get information about what is happening. So when the bombs flew in, the first ones, but before that, I mean, the community was already aware. There were infrastructures that were already on the ground that Ukrainians could use those systems. But this information did not reach out to the Africans. I'm not concerned about any other community out there. We are concerned about the African community in Ukraine. is a case study that is going to open our eyes to a lot of things that are happening. Remember, it is just 2 years ago. We've seen a lot of people posting, even on the Pan African Daily TV news page that is live with so much engagement and information. And you could see the feedbacks of people saying, there's no more COVID. Nobody's going to hear about COVID again. But it is not only COVID, okay? It is even the sequence of the events that happen before the break of COVID. But if we are not aware, we are not vigilant, we are not informed, we would just think, because the incidents happen so fast, we forget also so fast. So the number one thing that we Africans should be paying attention to right now is the trends and the informations. It happens so fast. It is not even a year. And you're going to see updates and happenings and trends and breakings around the world. So what did we focus on? We focus on putting that information and contact platform, which is like an emergency platform for Africans globally. We don't know what is going to happen. We need to be very, very awake. I am sitting right here in Germany and I see the trends every day. On the continent, it looks like just something is happening and they call it as the European war. In Americas, in the Caribbean, even in our neighbors here in UK and the other neighboring countries. But I'm sitting right here in that country where even the Europeans and the West gathered to partition Africa. So you understand what I mean? This is the center of all the happenings. I know a lot of people asking questions, where is the Pan-African Daily TV based? We are based in the middle point of the earth. And that's why it's very relevant for us to understand situations that are happening right now. There are more than 1 million Germans. You saw, some of you saw the images, isn't it? I'm just talking around. It's in the Berlin Brandenburg where the unification it took place, or the capital of Germany is. But you can imagine all the other cities. This incident is happening because of the Russian-Ukraine war. And Germans are already awake. Millions are on the street. They know the consequences of what is going to happen. They are so aware of it. But us Africans, it's business as usual. And so first thing, I want to start by congratulating you, Africans watching me. Because when we did the show on Saturday and we throw out that announcement for you to reach out to Africans in the Ukraine, you actually did that. You picked up calls. The Africans, even in the surrounding countries that are surrounding Ukraine, neighbor countries, they rush even to the borders, offering to take refugees. I mean, runaways, or Africans that are running away for safety. A lot of them opened their doors. They gave their contacts. They gave their numbers. This is so important, and this is so relevant. No matter what we are doing, we don't know what is going to happen. I tell you again, we don't know anything that is going to happen. But take it from me, it is serious than we see. But because we don't have a platform that is unique, that raised the alarm for us to be awake, to be ready, to be prepared in case of emergency, in case of anything, a platform that just gives us contact and information. We are lucky that we have the Pan-African Daily TV. We are lucky also that we've just created the Pan-African Daily News.org. I'm calling on all of you to log into that platform. You can see in just 3 days, we put up that page live yesterday. Just go and check at the analytics. I'm going to read it to you out here for you to understand that this is not a time for us to joke. We need to be informed, need to be so awake. If I tell you that millions of Germans are gathered in Berlin, you understand what happens. You don't feel it because all of us are busy and we're always being distracted until the last minute. It in 2020, when it happened, it was George Floyd that was murdered, our brother. That is the beginning of the sequence of event. And the whole world rose up. After that, the song or the hit from South Africa came, Jerusalem. The whole world staged around it. And they were dancing. I don't even know what they were dancing. But it was the renaissance of the African that was coming. And we never saw it. Why George Floyd? Why the global world? He's not the first that has been murdered, even to today that we're speaking. But why did it call for this awakening? Because exactly it was the 400 years that is over. Game over. After that, we saw, like I said, this track that came from South Africa. Why? It is not the biggest track. What really made the world to be so awake on this track called Jerusalem? And why did it come from South Africa? The time of the Renaissance. Okay? Now, after that, what happened? The global pandemic, the global COVID pandemic. And who were the targets? Who were warned that will be dying millions on the street? Africa. And now what is happening? Now is the Ukraine-Russia war, which is causing a global world panic and insecurity. These are incidents that have been happening, currently in just less than 2 years. Just less than 2 years. Well, I say yes, 2 years. But look at the changes, how rapid it has been. And it's continuing. Russia is not, from what we see in the incidents. Now, how ready are we Africans? How informed are we? We begin to see the trends, and Africans are tweeting, they're sharing very credible information. I can say credible. Some, yes, people can look at it as if this is sarcasm, but there's some facts behind it. It might just be that the time where Africans would host refugees from Europe is close. It's getting closer. And who are these refugees? Are they going to be Africans or non-African? Global world. Nobody knows what is really going to happen. Is it a panic? It is the same thing. We never knew what was going to happen with COVID. Nobody knew. And it just came. Nobody knew that any incidents was going to happen like that. And the question is this just something that just happens? What is it telling us? How do Germans get information to mobilize themselves? How did even Ukrainians? How did Russians? How did UK? How did all other communities get information from, it just happens and they get the information is everywhere. Now you see their sources of information. They control the media. They control the platforms that we are on. They control the radio. In Germany, you can get you cannot miss an incident that is happening. Why do we think the information technology is so important? It is not just only media. It's not only the spaces. But why is information? You just even hear the word information. But when they put technology on it, we begin to run and think that it's a rocket science. What is information technology? For instance, let's go back to pre-colonial history. So our gongs that we used to sound, information in the local villages when the kings would call the community together. These gongs that we used to use, today they call it is a technology for information. The trumpet that we used to sound when they want the community and the villagers to gather at the squares or whatever, or in the kingdom. These are technologies that we used to use in pre-colonial Africa. The whistles that we blew out, The drums that we beat at the squares, the gongs, and the message carrier that would go from community to community. Oh, you people have to gather at 4 o'clock, or this, or you know, or even the traditional masquerade that was sent out to communicate information. That is how the African use technology. It is no rocket science today, my people. When they bring some of these big words and all of us run ourselves and go and carry some things and put, oh no, I'm an expert in this. We did it long time. Our ancestors did it 400, 700,000 years before. How did we get people to gather for announcements? That is what is called information technology. Today, Africans are running and going to all kind of studies to study this information technology. So I take an example. Facebook platform. That's a village, global village where everybody is gathered. When something is happening, they share information from one. The algorithms is just passing those informations. And now we look at it and like, oh, you know, this is a first world technology. We did the same and even much better. Because this one, they just send the technology. You don't even know who is saying what. But in the village in pre-colonial Africa, all of us would gather in those centers and we'll watch face to face and we'll get instructions and we'll be located. Security was there, safety was there. If they had to allocate somebody, if there was a flood in the village, if there were tribal like cattle, you know, like I said, we were all pastorals. We were nomadans moving from one community to the other with our cattle, with our families. And that's how we did business. That's how we did everything. There's nothing new. What is new, actually? We organize ourselves, we mobilize ourselves. And it is not something that is strange today. Of course, now we have the modern one. Let us take, like I said, the Facebook is the global village square in an African community. And something will happen. You see, they're sharing those information. It's like our gangs. It's like everything. Oh, this one is happening. You see the interaction. There's nothing wrong in that. We can mobilize ourselves if we pay attention to what is happening and how ready are we. We should not be so focused. This is the time of the Renaissance. It's been 2 years. We've been sitting here. We've been calling on us to get awake, diaspora, look forward back to the continent. Now, just for one reason, imagine we're going to be hosting the global wall of refugees on the continent. Where are you thinking you're going to get space? Where are you going to get space? One of the trendiest point that we had on the global world, global news, Pan-African news.org, the most trendiest, and is currently trendiest, they call it the best, is the information that we shared about China's saying they are not for the sanctions against Russia and that they will continue to do business as usual. And that post is trending. We just did a caption and put it on the information platform. So what is telling you? Why must it trend? We've already been having a lot of trends there. I can read it to you. As a matter of fact, we've been having those trends, but why is this one trending? You see, that's the point where when we talk about our information and contact global office, it is very relevant. I shared the links to you. You can go to my personal platform page to get access to all the platforms. You can go to panafricandailytv.org. You're going to get access to all the other platforms. You can go to panafricandailynews.org. You're going to get it. You go to afroworld.tv, or you go to our community page, which is the Africa We Want Global.org. You're going to get it. It has been 2 years we've been talking about these things. We need our own platforms. We need our own this. But you know what? To be honest with you, the least of our concern is a channel now. We don't need any satellite because We just realized that where our people are, through a long-term research, where our people are, they will not live where they are now for a particular satellite. So we have to meet them where they are. And so we're getting in partnership with these spaces like Facebook. Because the highest consumers of Facebook are Africans. It's us that is always patronaging. So if something would be happening, like anything that is going to happen to us on Facebook, Africans are busy there. Where are we going to reach them? That's the target that we need for them to get information. It's the same thing that we reach out to Ukraine. And in just a couple of days, you could see the informations and videos flying in from Africans in the Ukraine. We just shared a video that is trending also on that platform about a girl. I was supposed to host her tonight, but she is still recovering from the shock. And you could see her mother, when she saw her daughter, she went down and was praying that she could even see her alive. Precious. She's going to be with us tomorrow. We just gave her that time to relax. And now they were stuck because of just simple information. And that's how it is. You can't protect yourself when you don't even know. You don't even know if something happens now, where am I going to go to? Where am I going to run to? That's why I said, if you see the West, they're so organized. In just a couple of, this week, Germans are all on the alert. They are. But to be honest with you, even the African community in Germany is not on that alert, even though they are Germans, Black Germans. We are 1 million in Germany now. Can you imagine that? We are 1 million. 2020, we were 1 million Africans. African, you call them Black Africans or Afro-African, Germans or whatever. They are Africans. We're 1 million. It never would have happened. Okay, something happens. We look at it in Ukraine. Look at the medical, because the majority that we're even getting access to is the medical students. But what about our refugees? What about the ones that are hustlers? This one, we wouldn't even get access to them. And I told you here, even these ones, when they die, nobody will even know about them. Their parents won't even know. So the most important thing, what should we be taking care? It's not that you didn't see me have a guest today. Not that we lack guests. We have thousands of them on our waiting list. But I want us to focus this week, not on conversations, teaching ourselves or learning everything. Just know how we can put ourselves together. Access to information and contacts, an emergency center and a platform when something happens. It means what? We need people to provide information. What are you doing out there as an African organization, as an initiative, as a company, as a private individual? Do you offer services? We need to register. Because when we talk about information, who are we going to give the information about? I don't create emergency centers. I'm not a psychologist, but we have Black psychologists out there. We have companies, Black businesses and companies that are offering all types of services. We need you to register on Africa We Want Global. Sign in your membership there so that we can begin to provide this information. Particularly in the Americas, we know that there are a lot of people that are doing security and even, information. And a lot of Africans are working in the Red Cross and all these emergency and security issues. We need your attention right now. We need you to register even as an individual offering those services out there. Be you in the Caribbean, be you in Asia, be you everywhere. That's why we say it is an Africa Global Office for contact and information. Okay, all the links are there. I shared it. I shared it to you. So, like I said, we have to move away the focus, because as the trends occur, We need to see where we put our focus. I mean, we were talking about getting a satellite and stuff like that because we thought that the world is still, but you look at the trend, the way the things are going fast. If you just look at even at the communication technology, look at the platforms on which today we're going to hold this conversation. Tomorrow, something else is going to happen. This one is done. That's how fast the technology is coming. And we were talking about the 5G, we were talking about the digital platform. It's because of the speed of the information. So something happens now, done. Like we said, it's not been these 2 years, the whole global pandemic that has trending on the news and in the world today. It's not about, oh, make sure you wait, make sure you do this. We were in it. It is not even up to 2 years. That one is gone now. And now we're facing another global pandemic, insecurity. We don't know what is going to happen. Nobody knows. It's the same thing. So we keep thinking, planning. Now, we said it even on the Pan-African Daily a couple of times. Imagine we were focusing on the economy, or on politics, or on this. Now we keep saying no. The most important thing is us, how united and organized we are. That is our primary objective. Economy would go. Politics would happen. It's not even part of us. Every other thing would happen. Security has to do with information. If we are not alive today, we're not going to be talking about building economy or building spaces for our children and the future of Africans. So it's very, very relevant. I need you all provide, I mean, it's a platform now. Imagine even those that, you saw the videos that we posted on dailynews.org. You saw it. Africans that are even running for their lives for safety, like just any other human beings, are blocked in the boundaries or in the boundaries at Poland. They had to be complaining and begging. We as students, what even if we are not just students? Are these animals standing in front of you? And they block entry, even leaving another insecurity zone to go to another one. Africans are always the last. Getting on buses, we saw it. We've been sharing all those videos with you. Go to panafricandailynews.org. You're going to watch it there. Even to get on buses in Ukraine, where they take their people first, Ukraine first. No, even to get access to save your life, it's a preference. The African is always the last. So even if you're fleeing your continent and your paradise, you're fleeing your paradise and coming to a place thought is a paradise, no, you're still considered the last. So imagine, do you prefer to be the first on the continent or the last out of your continent? Even though I know there's still arguments that we're going to say, yeah, even on the continent, we're not. No, on the continents, you have your compounds, you have your villages, the townships. These are make-up things. That's not where you belong. Anything will happen like this, oh, you're going to run to your villages. You're going to run to your compounds. You're safe. Because you know what? Russia is not even meeting us there. What do we have that he's even going to target us? And sometimes, I listened to some of these comments and I was just laughing when Africans were throwing back, like, thank God we never were a part of this thing. Now, maybe. We never were for 400 years. We never were a part of this thing. They always treat us like we're not even a part. And we keep even begging. We want to be a part of this. Want to be a part of this. So just imagine. So sometimes Africans will start also, and this is exactly what we keep saying. Even the world says it. The future is Africa. I don't want to say the future anymore. The noun is Africa. The noun. There's nothing about the future. They keep lying us every time. Oh, ho, ho, future African lie. Don't, thieves. The future is now. The present is now. The Africa is now. And you see it happening. And remember, they teach us all these things, but we don't pay attention. We take it as entertainment. I think I can remember I saw a movie. I've been searching the whole of this weekend if I could retrieve that. Patrick and I were working on really like getting all this information out here. And that movie actually showed, I don't know if any of you came across that, um, Europeans that are seeking refugee in Africa. Honestly speaking, that was information, that was truth, that was communication that was given to us for free. But you know how we interpret these things? Entertainment. We thought, it's just the term movie. But movies are mind happen. When we saw the pandemic came, a lot of people also were saying it. Oh, this doctor and this doctor did. Oh, we saw da. But we sit and watch and laugh and even eat popcorn, drink champagne. We're going to the kinos. It's a whole center of learning and information, depending on what you take out from there. It is an art creation on how things we prophesy, visionize, things that could be. That's why art is very important. They redesign it. It's not only in the movies, they act it even as theater. They sing it in music. They perform it. That's why festivals are very important. And we're talking about the seasons of the Renaissance African festivals that has to start. Because that's where all the whole action and the visions are put together. And we go and we dance and they pump music into our head. We jumping. We don't know. That's a message. It is a message for the now and the future. Now, if you go back to your archives, most of you that watch documentaries and movies, you're going to see that nothing that is happening now is just happening. Why do they act some things that will happen in the future? Did we question that? And remember, we've been saying one of the things that we don't do is questioning. We don't question anything. Now, an African has to question everything. Anything, just question it. Ask a question before you even do it. I'm not saying don't do it. We need to act, but we need to question. You're seeing the importance and the relevance, because I think one of the biggest, fastest means for you to get education and to be conscious of the education is to question anything. Just ask a question. It's not difficult. Question doesn't mean you question somebody else only. Go and ask somebody, and what does this mean? Question yourself. Take it, look at it, and like, what is this? What is this supposed to mean? Question yourself. That's self-development. So we are currently updating these platforms with informations, contacts. Like we said, if you have a service that you're doing, that you are offering, what kind of it? For instance, if we needed an emergency or we needed contacts in the Ukraine, do you know the pain we've been going through to just get even people to get us an access to contacts? But thank God, Pan African Daily has always been that platform that is being followed worldwide. Even the daily news that we said live, it's already all over Africa. It's the most trending page platform that is happening now. People are watching from all over. The trends, and let me just give you a feedback of the countries and the trends that are currently on it. Just this evening, wow, how many countries we have now? We have Kenya, United States, South Africa, United Kingdom, Zambia, Nigeria, United Emirates, United Arab Emirates, Ghana, Germany, Namibia, of course, Ghana, because we here. And look at the interactions. Kenyans, the more than 456, United States, 263, South Africa, 178, United Kingdoms, 146. We have more than 5,000 interactions on, I'm talking about the postings that we post. how interactive, how people view it, how they comment on it. And just yesterday, okay, Zambia, we have 142, Nigeria, we have 114, United Arab Emirates, we have 78, Ghana 77, Germany 69, Namibia 50, and the rest of the other countries are following up. And if you see the trends on it, the reaction, it's amazing. Some of the topics that actually caught the attentions and went global are the postings that we did in a couple of just this weekend. For instance, the one that said, I better die in Ukraine than go home to suffer in Africa. And this is an African student in Ukraine that said he prefers to die of the bombs in Ukraine than to go back to die on the continent. And that post had more than, I mean, million interactions in viewers and comment. I mean, this one I'm talking about, the statistics and analysis that I'm giving you is about the dailynews.org. I'm not talking about our Facebook platform, because there are more than millions on it interacting on this post that I'm reading. I'm just talking about the information for news platform. We have the daily TV platform, which is where we do our daily, talks and conversations and videos and stuff like this. That one is at panafricandailytv.org. What I'm saying now. Then we have the daily news, which is a news platform where we're looking for journalists, volunteers, content creators. We need more than 1,000 of you out there on the continent, in the diaspora. If you're a freelancer journalist, please make sure that you contact us, because this platform, we need to get information from all angles. Even though it's called the Pan African Daily, even just like us, what is it that we focus on? We focus on how the world interact to Africa. We focus on how Europe connects to Africa. We focus on how Asia, So it's not only about us Africans, but how does the world treat us? Because we're all over the world. And so we can say the Pan-African Daily TV is focused only on the geographical space on the continent of Africa. No, Africans are worldwide, be it in the Americas, everywhere. And it's our focus there. When something's happened, like it's happening in the Ukraine, what is the situation with our people there? That is our focus. And now you can imagine, tell me where we are left out. So we need correspondence in all these communities. You must not be a journalist that I'm not. Me, am I? But I'm a freelancer. I'm a freelance journalist. I share stories. I write articles. We do research. We have a whole team of researchers on the ground, historians. You've seen them here all. All of them, authors, indigenous African content writers, video creators, all of us are. You can tell a story, so you're a journalist. Join us on this platform. Join us on the daily news platform. And to reach us, you just need to send your contact to us on our WhatsApp. All of you, know it in the Pan-African groups. I'm so happy because that's how we could reach out to Ukraine. That's how we could set a contact and information number. Our number was there, and we kept getting all this missing. Those that were locked in bunkers, and they could not leave those up, because when it happened, most of them, instead of running out, they went down to the basement. And now when they started relocating people, they were blocked there because they wouldn't give them access to come out. So imagine if most of them would just suffocate there and die of hunger, of drinkable water, of anything. So there's nothing safe anymore that we can just rely on. It happens every day, like a doorbell, isn't it? So we need to be awake. That is why we need all this correspondence. And luckily, we met this institute, which is in charge of the students. But like I said, just imagine the hustlers. The ones that we're really reaching out to them are the students. Of course, we know that there are a lot of students out there from Ghana, from Nigeria particularly. But what about the other? Those that are not students, that were not privileged to come like students, right? So, but we were lucky that we could get that access because they are organized. Okay, but imagine all of us, even on the continent, we are not. When something happens, we don't know. And so, even just giving contact and information, not only about things that are happening in the diaspora, but even Africans on the continent that are still looking forward to travel. Of course, we will always travel for business or whatever. You need a contact and information place, office that could give you relevant information that is reliable, okay, before you take upon yourself to climb on that ship or to make that journey. Or you're even looking for partners or contacts where you can do business. Why not? Are you going to be asking Germans? Are you going to be asking Americans? Are you going to be asking non-Africans? No, we want to refer to contacts that services that are being offered by us, Africans by Africans, because we understand our realities. Like we're saying, when we have problems with trauma, particularly us in Europe, but we know that there are a lot of maybe doctors or psychologists that are black, that are blacks. We don't go to them most often because we don't have that contact and information point. We go to non-Africans. Do they understand our backgrounds and our daily realities? That's the problem. They are ready to help. And that's why most of it we always put these terms as if it's racist. No, I wasn't treated. I'm not in the mind of that non-African, but I'm just trying to bring a solution to understand that. I don't know why it should be always their own problem when we can solve our own problems. Why must I go to a German doctor? It's because I don't have information that an African doctor. It's not because the German doctor is not accurate. They're the best in whatever. But Africans also have studied that system here. But if I go to an African doctor, he would understand my daily realities and experience as an African. He would understand my background. If I'm traumatized because of family issues, because of parenting, because of whatever, because of integration, whatever, if we share our stories, we understand one another because of our cultural backgrounds. We are one. A German or American or Brit might be willing to help me, but he doesn't understand my identity and my realities. And if he cannot, then he would treat me or he would act differently, and I would interpret it as being marginalized. Now, if I went to an African, that story would not be the same. Now, you understand when we say we're giving these solutions. I'm a consultant now. Why? For who? For institutions exactly like that, communities, governments that don't know how to react with us. We're in their foreign systems. They don't understand our experiences. They don't understand our culture. They don't understand our backgrounds. Instead of us always sitting and complaining, it is time for us to tell them, you know what, if you want to treat us right, we can teach you how. And this is how we can do it. That's my job as a consultant and a journalist. Okay? So we need to get these things right. These are solutions. They might look simple, but it's a whole structure. If I learn anything, and if we Africans should learn anything wherever we are in this Western space, particularly Germany, is a structure, the essence of a structure. We can turn around, and that's why we're always turning around, just talking, 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 but we don't put the structure that addresses these challenges. We can talk for the next generation to come. Nothing is going to happen. If we don't have an office where we can share contacts, where we can get SOS when something is happening to us, when we can address this, if we don't go to these institutions with a solution to say, you know what, we can help you, nothing is going to happen. We're going to cry and cry and cry every day. Okay. So I want to thank all of you for getting really active on this Ukraine issue. It's been an eye-opener to us. It has reminded us on a lot of things that could happen. And of course, it is a preparation. It's a preparation of what is going to happen. It might not be the global war, but it is already giving us Africans an opportunity to get our acts together. What should we be busy doing now is exactly what we from the Pan-African Daily TV are doing in a very small team. We put this platform in 2 days together, Patrick and and myself and the boys. It had to work because the necessity to get access to information from Ukraine was a burning point. We were not just busy only sharing news and something, but our concern was how do we get information, access, contacts, who could help? And that's how we came up to say, oh, we have to 3 days non-sleep, okay? And we put it. That is what I call excellence. Solutions, not talk, not thinking in the future, not, oh, we have to build this. Do we know that Africans on the continent own minings? Do we? Do we know that Africans on the continent, even in the diaspora, most of them are business experts, #1 grade? How do you know? If you don't have the information and you don't have access, you don't have the contact, how would you know? We talk about we are the best. We know about Dr. Wade Nobles. He's the best psychologist. Do we have access to him? He could consult us worldwide, even from the continent. If you have a trauma, he understands your background and your reality. But do we have access, information, what he does? So we're very proud of our work. We're very proud that we could really disseminate this information and that we could put these platforms into value. What we now need is the correspondence, workers, all of us volunteers, to provide content, any information that is happening in your community. You have to give us that access. And so we need these freelance journalists, whether you're a writer, content creator, video, there's a lot of journalism, whether you're a photographer, and you're just photographing what is happening. And you just do videos. Imagine when we used to say the digital space is the most important opportunity that Africans have. We wouldn't have been having these videos of what is going on in Ukraine. And that is one of the disadvantages that we used to have when they block us from access to information technology. Remember, but today it's free. But how do you use it? Apart from just using it and just sharing some kind of thing, everybody now is a content creator that we can talk about who we are. Yes, do it. You have the TikToks, you have even the real. Facebook has just created his own. Facebook has also created its own studio to create and do live. We're a partner to it also. YouTube. We're just not limited. Problem is, what do we do with the spaces? Are we using it to build? Or we're using it just to entertain and just don't even know that it's of essence? Do you know how much your iPhones cost you to buy? Or your Android phones, whatever you're using? Just imagine the investment. Do you think that you put that these phones and these devices with camera, with date, with calendars was just meant for you to just make calls? It is a business tool. It is a security tool. It is information. It's the biggest thing that you have in your hand. The biggest missile is not the one that they're showing us, the green thing that is going to drop and all of us die. You have it. This one is what you have. And all of you have access to it. But how do you use it? Do we just use it and just, yes, of course, to make calls, to share videos? For what? It is because of this thing that we could have relevant and information from our brothers and sisters in the Ukraine, that they could post us their videos that we share with you. Can you imagine in those days where if you even, the media was not open to us, this open to us, and you pick even a post from the CNN or BBC or whatever, these other platforms from the mainstream, and you put it on your platform, they bring it down. For what? Copyright infringement. Because it's not your property. Even though they took you as a picture. That's what we see they do. They go to African tourists and this and that, go to our villages, go to our compound, molest our children, take pictures of them empty and this and that, and flies on their face, and come and put a copyright even on your own picture. You don't have access to it. So it is, and when we talk about information technology, we're going to be breaking down this aspect. You have a weapon in your hand. How do you use it? Depending on you. So Africans, let's stay awake. Thank you very much. Like I said, it was a very short information, um, and to announce and give you feedbacks, and also to connect, because we are now in our working week, but we're going to be doing more of information. Even when we're going to get guests, they're just really just going to come introduce themselves, because we need to get these things very straight. Getting back, we've already built our platforms where you can meet all these professors and get consultation directly from them. This is all what we've been singing here. We have them. You want to consult Professor James Small on spatial things, you can get that access to him now. All what he's been doing, they've been giving us information on what it is. But now, you know, they are expert in particular things. You want to get information to Black doctors out there. You want everything that you had, we had it. Now the database is, if you haven't registered yourself, whether you're a researcher or you're a journalist or you're a doctor or you're a cook or you're a dancer or anything that you are, bring it down to that platform. We're going to share that information among us on our daily TV, on our daily news, and the daily radio is also coming. Okay. So yes, what is it again? Just with a simple tool. So we might not even be needing any monies from you. We all we will be needing is for us to focus on that work and these platforms to maintain them. You have on the community platforms, there are donations there. You can donate if you want. Okay. But you know, if you go on my platform, there's possibilities you can book me to give you information, to educate your communities, your organizations, your countries, whatever. Everything is available. Okay. It's now left for us. We said it, and I used to say it here. We've been cooking the pots in the village. You know, our moms used to say, oh, go and play out. When we are ready, we'll call you. We'll call you when the food is ready. And when the food is ready, you know, we come in and the pots were ready and we were served. And okay, so we are ready. We have cooked and cooked and cooked from our own from our own village pots, and now we are ready to, the food is ready and we just shared it with you. It all depends on how you want to use it. It all depends on what you want to make out of it. But the Global Africa office is ready to serve Africans worldwide. No complaints, whether on the continent or in the diaspora. We are ready. And we are focused on the continentals. We are focused on the African migrants in their communities. We are focused on the indigenous diasporans, all of us Africans worldwide. Ask a question, what you need. Okay, you want to book Dr. Susan? Hey, you go there, you see my conditions for booking. But what do I do when you book me? To train you, to give you, to inform the community. It's not a one-on-one booking, like I said, a freelance. I don't charge, we're not charging you for any fee. We're only consulting and giving information that is relevant to those that need it. Okay. So I want to thank you so very much. Tomorrow we are going to get Precious, this young girl that flee and is with her family. And we're also going to get Dr. Tony Jaja, very relevant information on what we should be knowing, what Africans should be doing, particularly our governments. It's an opportunity for us. Remember, we used to be the ones that cry when the conflicts and wars and we were not, and the world was busy doing their stuff. Now that the world is busy trying to fix their own, what should we Africans be doing? What should the leaderships be doing? What should the communities be doing? Busy fixing our own too. Okay? So thank you so very much. It's been a pleasure. And I really, really appreciate your support. How you share this post, how you subscribe, how you follow. Now you also know you can subscribe not only on the YouTube channel, you can subscribe on our Facebook. It's going to offer the same reactions. There, African Digital use Android phones, and it's most in the afternoon. So when we post a post like the video that we post from Malema, it's 2 million views in just 3 days. Okay, so but you see the YouTubers is slow. So we're using all the space to our advantage. If you're not subscribed here, subscribe to us on Facebook. Like I said, we don't need a channel now. We will need it when we get to Wakanda land. Okay. Right now, it's about mobilization. It's about unity. It's about reaching the Africans where they are with information and contact. Okay. And education. So thank you. We are going to see our guests tomorrow. And I wish you all a good night. Have you drank? Make sure you drink a lot of water. Drink a lot of water and just breathe. Just breathe. Thank you so much. You are watching the Pan-African Daily TV with Dr. Susan Tatah. The Africa we want. Unity, consciousness, our culture, our spirituality, our history. One Africa for Africans worldwide. Motherland's calling its diaspora home. Join my voice. Join my team. Join my campaign. Campaign 21 hashtag 1 million subscribers on the Pan-African Daily TV YouTube. Be a volunteer. Apply now. Be the new Africa.